I'm David Cornell. I'm a kitchen and bathroom designer. What's come clear to me when I go to do an estimate for a customer is that I tend to get asked the same questions over and over again. And those questions involve stuff like lighting, sinks and faucets, countertops, cabinetry, flooring, backsplashes, appliances, basically everything to do with your kitchen renovation. So what I'm going to do is answer those questions for you, and hopefully when it comes time to do your renovation, you'll know what to do. I'm David Cornell. In this week's kitchen renovation, the homeowners both agreed that the lack of storage was their main concern. We're going to try and double that storage, as Anne is due in a month and she wants all the renovations complete when she comes home with the new baby.
Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thanks. This is great. I love this open concept.
Nice.
Beautiful hardwood. Look at the size of the dining room. That's awesome. And here we are, the
Kitchen's
kitchen.
right in
Hi,
here.
Dave.
Okay, so this is where it all starts, eh? Well, I was glad that you guys gave me a call to come over and have a look at your kitchen today. Usually when people want to get the kitchen done, there's a reason for doing it. I mean, it looks a little dated, but what's your big plan here?
So I want to, warm up the colors of the cabinets for sure. I mean, they're dated as well, and kind of making a spot where people come in, sit down, it's warm, it's comfortable, and yet still functional.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm looking at anyway.
Absolutely. We do like to cook a lot, so having the storage more practical would be great, and also just optimizing the layout so things are more readily accessible.
Okay, these are just things I need to know, so when I'm going to design your kitchen, I can take this all into account. So what you've done here so far is all cosmetic, and when I walk in, I can initially see a lot of things I want to do. What kind of changes were you thinking of making in here?
Well, definitely we'd like to update the materials. So as Anne said, the new cabinets, warmer color palette for sure.
Okay.
And also I think we have a young family, so no really hard surfaces. We'd like to keep things sort of soft and accessible.
Okay, and I see you're expecting another one, so
Yeah.
obviously an expanding family, so this would be good, and I'll take that into account when I'm designing the kitchen. Also, maybe an eat-in counter, that sort of a thing. Is that what you're?
That's exactly what I'm looking at.
Well, you've got nice high ceilings, 9-foot ceilings in here. Maybe we can do something with the bulkheads. And I've got a lot of ideas flowing through my head right now, so I'm going to design something up for you. And I'll do it all 3D on the computer for you, so you can actually see what it's going to look like before we go ahead and make any decisions. Now, for this size kitchen, I'm going to throw a couple numbers at you, and you tell me if I'm in the ballpark, and I will try and design a kitchen to fit your budget. So if I say between $30,000 and $40,000, is that about what you were thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely no higher than that, if possible.
You get the biggest return if you ever do sell a house is in a kitchen and a bathroom, which is about 70% return on your money. So it will improve the value of the house and give you many years of enjoyment in the kitchen too, because you use the kitchen all the time. So I'm just going to take some measurements, and I'll design it all up for you and see if we can make arrangements to do this kitchen for you.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So what I've done here, I guess your biggest problem with the kitchen was lack of storage. And you wanted an island that you could sit down and when you have people over, it was kind of like a meeting place would be the island.
Right.
So what I've done is I've got a nice big eat-in island. You've got about a foot overhang on the two sides of it, and I've put the sink on the island. So what do you think of that setup there?
I like having the sink on the island, but I'm thinking that it might be better to have it across onto, because there's so much counter space, right? It's going to just have a blank open space. Or, I mean, there's nothing wrong with countertop, but I think there needs to be something on the other side.
Okay.
Under the window, probably.
Under the window,
Give
so
us
where
more
it is now.
countertop surface on the island.
Yeah, currently. I think I kind of like that there.
Okay, so I think what we'll do next is let's get everything chosen as far as what you want to do with doors. I'd like to take you to custom granite so you can pick out your granite from there, because there is a lot of choices. And I'm having a little bit of trouble for what kind of look you're looking for as far as that goes. So
Okay.
let's go down there and check that out.
Sounds good.
That's our next step, but let's get the doors picked and get that ordered.
All right. Sounds good.
Here we are on day one of Chris and Ann's kitchen renovation. Exciting time for us because we get to rip it out and we don't have to be too careful in removing the cabinets. You can see they used to have a white kitchen in here. It was originally oak, builder's kitchen, 22 years old, and it's been painted over. So I think they painted it because it made it a little brighter. It's a bit of a dark corner in here. We're gonna change that with some lighting and stuff. Once we decided that Chris and Ann were within budget for the kitchen design that I came up with, there's a few things that we need to check. Chris and Ann didn't like the bulkheads. We want to reduce the height of that bulkhead or eliminate the bulkhead. So I poked some holes in the bulkhead to see what's inside them. And what I found, once I got in here, was I've got a drain from the bathroom upstairs running through the bulkhead. So we definitely can't remove the bulkheads in here. But what we can do is we can reduce the size of it. So we can get a higher cabinet that's going to go in here. So they'll allow them one extra shelf in the cabinets. And over here, we're going to have a bar sink. So it'll be a little utility sink as well as the kitchen sink. So they're going to have two sinks in this room. What they had over here was a pantry, a built-in pantry on an angle. And if you see inside here, it really didn't do a lot. You might have had a couple of shelves in there. I see that they got some hooks, so they probably had their brooms and everything in here. We're going to remove this, and right in this spot is going to be a wall oven, and there's going to be a microwave built in above it, and we're going to have a little cabinet on the side there also. Once this bulkhead here is removed, that's going to open the ceiling right up, and the next thing you know, they're going to have a brand new kitchen in here. Now we're going to put these down. I want to smash these before we put them in there. So whoever comes in and does a countertop, and you see how they did that slide-in stove over there, Jay? It's two separate countertops and they have no backsplash on that. See, they just put a piece of countertop in there. Sure get my biceps in that shot. You can see here we've taken a cabinet out over top of the fridge. This is an inside wall. It hasn't been taped, which is fine. An outside wall is a problem because you get drafts, you get moisture that wants to come in and everything. So on an inside wall, if it's not taped, no big deal. I personally do put a coat of, at least one coat of plaster on an inside wall, but. Tomato stuffed with fava beans and goat cheese. Sounds good. I got it.
There's some money back there.
Oh yeah, the customer once told me it's good luck if you throw money underneath cabinets or inside a wall if you do renovations.
How come you don't do that?
I'm too cheap. So beginning of day two, we got everything ripped out yesterday, and there's some typical things you find when we're ripping out the kitchen. And the first one being is I was talking to Chris, and he was talking about having cold feet when he was making coffee in the morning. And when we took the stove out yesterday, the contractor had put in the gas line, and when they did it, they didn't put the insulation back. So that explains why he has cold feet. So again, we've got some insulation issues to deal with here. So we took the drywall ceiling out, and what we saw was a lot of nails upstairs. When they built the house, they missed the joists. That will account, if you have squeaky floors, that's probably the reason, is when they build these houses, they put them together so quick. So there are a lot of nails that are missing up there, but there won't be any squeaks in this kitchen floor because we've screwed it down. And another thing that we found, and this is a good reason to make sure you hire a qualified contractor to do your kitchen. As we took down the drywall ceiling, you can see there's some wires here. These wires were sitting in the bulkhead, uncapped, cut, and live, not controlled by any switch or anything. So we've got our electrician coming. He's going to decide where it is. We're going to cut that power and make sure that everything's safe in here. So today we're going to be working on, once the electrician's done spotting the pot lights for the ceiling, we can get the ceiling drywalled. We're going to screw down the subfloor again, and then we're going to start putting in the flooring. And that should be a good day for us. We may get into some insulation, and then we'll be ready for cabinets. So it's pretty good so far. I'm just going to give Jay a hand, and we'll
Nice high ceiling there for you, eh?
Yeah, nothing to rack my head on this time. So guys, here we are at the granite showroom. I want you guys to have a look around, see what you like. Something might jump out at you, so I'm going to let you loose. I like to let people just, have a look around because it is quite an amazing place when you see all the granites in here. So we'll have a look around. I'll be back here. If you need me, just give me a holler.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
That's too wavy.
This is perfect.
You're lying.
Look at your colors there.
I love the texture of that. Just like I always imagine it being
like the black.
flat, but feel the different contours.
The leather finish, yeah.
It's very neat. Pick up the black, right? And we'll start with this one. Really great. Is that meant as a sort of a border, or could you do an entire like,
Yeah, they come in 12 by 12 sheets.
consistent, like have a little bit of variety in it? And definitely prefer more of a tumbled look.
This series, like, there's so much variance already going on.
Okay.
Well, we're thinking a very complex mosaic that will require master
Hours
craftsmanship.
and hours of work.
Yeah, with inlays.
Great. You all set there, Jay?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just marking off the studs. Got a couple more to go here.
There's one over here.
One there, one here. Okay. So what we've done is we've screwed some 2x4s on the wall here. They're nice and level. So we're gonna lift our cabinets up. We're gonna put 3 cabinets on the wall. We start in the corner and we work out. This will help us find our square by having 3 cabinets all together. So Jay, if you're ready.
Okay.
Hope you had your Wheaties this morning.
Let's see how you gave me the big end here.
Yeah, you take the heavy end. Okay, Jay, if you hold it there, just push it in the corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm checking to see if it's square here. That's why we've got our 3 cabinets together. And it looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of a space here, but that's okay. So we'll throw a screw in here and this will start us off. Now that we got our cabinets level, we're good. We got it. We can start putting in the rest of our upper cabinets. So we'll work along this way. What we've done height-wise is there's pantries going in this kitchen. There's a wall oven on this side, and there's a pantry down at the end. So we find our highest point. We get our laser out, and we check the pencil line along the top of the ceiling, and that's where we've decided the height of our kitchen. That way there'll be no trimming that we have to do on the bottom of the cabinets. All we're doing here is screwing the cabinets together with a 1 1/4 inch screw. Screw the gables together and the cabs are nice and tight. So we've got our cabinets up, and before we put our cabinets up, we actually laid out the pot lights. So we start with this pot light, which gives us a nice square off this cabinet. It'll shine a nice light in. This door has glass in it, and it's got the mullions, so it'll be 6-panel glass in here. That'll be really nice. On top of this, we've got a 3-inch crown mold that's going on. So you notice before we took the bulkheads out, we'll actually build the bulkheads after the crown mold's on. Because in order to get to the crown mold, we have to be able to screw it from the top, this type of crown mold, because these doors go right to the top. There's nowhere to nail the crown mold into. We've got to sculpture the bulkhead so that it follows the contour of the fridge cabinet and then the pantry at the end, which are 24 inches deep. And we've got a nice little wine rack that's going to go in here. We're not going to put the wine rack in right away because it's finished with the glaze on it, and we don't want a chance damaging that. So we've got the almond cabinets for uppers and bases in this section. Then we've got a big 8-foot by 3-foot island going in with a nice sculpted countertop on the back with some pillars, and that's in a different color. It's a Java glow color. We put a cork floor in, so we're trying to pick up the color, which the customer actually picked, and picked the cork flooring color. And we're trying to pick the color out of the cabinets into the cork flooring. So that'll be a nice little touch on the island, gives it a little bit of warmth. So this is gonna be a really nice kitchen when we're done. We just got a few more cabinets to finish screwing in, and then we can start with the bases, Jay. Take the laser.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, man. Good to see you.
good.
So, you're here to do your thing?
Yep,
The granite?
Excellent, looks good, looks good.
Now, you got the preliminary drawings?
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
been a little bit of a change.
Not a problem, not a problem. That's what we're here for.
Okay.
That's why I come to template.
When we originally brought Chris and Ann down to Custom Granite to pick out the granite, we were going to go with 2 different colors.
Okay.
Cafe and
Yeah.
Imperial.
Yeah.
And we've decided to eliminate one, and we're going to do the whole kitchen in one color.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, there's been one other change. I know you're
That's
flexible.
not a
Yeah.
problem. Not a problem.
We were going to have the pantries here.
Okay.
We're going to move the pantries down here.
Okay.
So that's
We've
given
got
me
some room to work with here now. Yep.
Yeah, it's given me the ability to go a little bit longer with the countertop. The customer picked the color. They're going to leave the design up to me.
Okay.
So what I was thinking is, over here, I've got the 2 pillars. This is what I'm thinking, that I could accent those pillars like that.
Yep. Yep, no problem at all.
So what they're thinking is they can have an overhang here, and they want an overhang on this end.
Okay.
That way when they're entertained, you can have probably 4 seats in here, and you can have another seat on that side.
Sure.
And with the cooktop being in this area here,
Most of your entertaining is going to be down that way
yeah, if
anyway.
there's any cooking going on.
Sure.
Exactly. So I'll let you do your measurements and everything, and if you can AutoCAD something for me.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll get everything put into the system, we'll download it in the computer, and then we can sit and play with the design of the island and come up with whatever looks good.
Okay.
Whatever.
If you could send me a few specs, maybe
Sure.
I can run it by Chris and Ann.
Yep, definitely.
And make sure that they approve it.
Yep, no problem at all.
And, okay.
Yeah, we can do a couple of different versions, and then you can just let us know which one you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Great.
I'll let you do your thing.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Well, just putting on the crown mold here, finishing off the trim work. Jason's working on the toe kick, so we're in the final stages of the kitchen here. After the crown mold's on, we'll build the bulkheads. Painter's ready to come in, granite's ready to go, so in 2 days the granite and the painting's gonna be done, and we're basically gonna be there. I get a question a lot of times when I'm designing the kitchen about space. How much space should I leave between the island and, say, the cabinets against the wall? So in this case, it's the sink and the cooktops on the other side. Now, if you're a newlywed, and Jay was my new wife, 30 inches would be okay. Don't get too close there, buddy. 30 inches would be okay, but for someone that's been married a little bit longer, like I have, 36 inches. That way, if Jay, could you just stand here, just so I can do a little demonstration? If Jay's working at the cooktop, of course my wife's not gonna be that big, and I wanna get by, I've got lots of room. I've got a 36-inch tolerance once the countertops are on, so that gives plenty of room. Jay likes it a little bit closer. I'm not gonna go there with that though. So those are certain tolerances that when you're thinking about redoing your kitchen, and you know how wide your room is, 3 feet, and then if you go to the other side of the island and you've got cabinets on the other side, 3 feet again. So sometimes you just don't have that room to have the island in there if you don't have that 3-foot tolerance. If you can deal with a little bit less, then that's okay.
Here.
Oh, you're finally back. Where'd you go, to Montreal to get that?
Yeah, got special stuff for you. Thanks for picking up the paint, Jay.
No problem.
Let's have a look at the color.
There's your color, Dave.
Nice, nice. Go good with the cabinets.
Okay, so what you want to do, Dave, is brush down all the sides inside the can and your bottom and scoop all that out because there could be some white paint residue left inside of there.
So what is that white residue that's in the bottom?
It's actually paint. You can see it right here. It's paint that hasn't been mixed.
So is that from the tinting when they tint it, or is it just from sitting in the can from being on the shelf?
What happens is that when they tint the paint and they put it on the shaker, there's always a little bit of the paint. The paint is actually white to start with, so there's a little bit of the paint that doesn't get mixed up. And if it's not properly mixed, then you're going to get a different color from where you brushed in to where you rolled.
Okay. Now, they just shook it, so why are you stirring it?
That's right. It's the same thing. It's never fully mixed from the store. You really want to do this to get it fully mixed up.
Consistent color.
That's right.
Remember, folks, Rob's a professional. Don't try this at home unless you're absolutely sure you can do this. Wow, this floor is pretty durable, eh? Yeah, so. You guys need a hand?
We're okay, thank you. I gotta come on. Okay. Okay, we're down. You're down? Good.
You see how heavy the top was? Don't try this at home. They won't even let me help. I noticed, Paul, that you got this brace on here. What is the exact purpose of this guy here?
It's for security when we're installing it. It's even though there is rebar front and back of the piece, this adds more security as we're transporting it and putting it in.
So just so you know, less chance of cracking.
Oh,
I guess,
for sure.
when you're carrying
Yeah.
it in and
Yeah,
when you're
guaranteed.
transporting. Okay, great.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with a little extra security.
That's right.
We're putting in a granite countertop at this job site. There are many different surfaces that people are using today. This is a quartz countertop. And the difference between the two really mainly is that with the granite, you need to seal it. You should seal it once a year. And with the quartz, you don't have to seal it. So
We recommend that you do, even though that it is a natural stone, parts of it, quartz should be sealed as well.
okay, well, there you go. It should be sealed, so I've been corrected. Hasn't been the first time that I've been corrected, but you should seal the quartz also. You know what, when you seal a countertop, it literally takes about 5 minutes because it's just like waxing your car. You put it on, let it sit for a couple hours, and then you buff it off. So we've got granite countertops, we've got quartz countertops, there's solid surface, which could be Corian or hard rock. There's laminate countertops, concrete is starting to get popular now, and so is soapstone. So you've got to look at the different surfaces, see how tough they are. My recommendation is I love the granite and I love the quartz. So those are my two recommendations for kitchen countertops. Well, Chris and Ann, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. And normally I like to toast the new kitchen, but I think you've got a nice little cute bundle of joy here, Charlotte. So a nice toast to a safe arrival.
Yay, to Charlotte.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot of changes in this kitchen.
A lot of
And how have you found it so far?
We're loving it. I must admit, we are totally loving it. Living through a kitchen reno and not having a kitchen for a few weeks, yikes. What we wanted was a place where we sit and we relax and we can entertain, and we're spending all of our time here now.
Right.
So the counter space has been a really great design.
I think that was your biggest concern, was storage when I was here originally. And you've got a lot of lighting in here.
I
Just
know.
so many changes, you know,
Yeah.
when you see from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's a lot warmer, just the lighting's a lot, you can control it and just get the mood you want, whether it's day or night. So a lot more amenable.
Anything you'd change or?
No, not at all, actually. I mean, I still kind of marvel at the wall oven and the microwave, because what was there originally was that small closet.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget you saying, well, this is what we're gonna do there. And I'm like, okay. And there it is, and it's amazing. So, you know, the amount of cupboards you've added over there has been incredible. And I love having the wall oven there. I love my cooktop. The induction cooktop is just so great with kids, right?
Boiling in the water. Now, does it take 90 seconds? Did you try it?
It takes 90 seconds, and then you feel the top of it, and it's, you know, it's warm to the touch. That's it. So it's great. We're really enjoying it.
And that was a concern with Griffin sitting here at the table, that if you were cooking something, that if he was to touch the burner after,
Yeah.
it wouldn't, it doesn't burn his hand because it's only warm to this.
That's right. That was my concern with having a cooktop on the island, but it works now that it's induction.
Well, I remember when I installed it, Chris came in and he goes, well, it's not supposed to be hot. He put his hand on it after the pot came off, and you're like, ah!
I
But
know.
it wasn't. It was just, it was warm to the touch, yes.
Yeah,
I tried
it
too.
was great.
Well, that's great. One more cheers.
Okay. Yay, thanks.
Congratulations on 2 parts.
Thank you.